guys, I'm Blossom.
And I'm Dave. Welcome back to the Rude Customers Podcast. Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it was an accident, but I'm going to own it.
He straight up asked me, y'all. He was like, well, what day is it? And I was like, Tuesday, just so you could say Tuesday.
Yeah, but it really wasn't on purpose. I didn't mean to self-promote myself. But hey, you know what? What is your favorite day of the week? That's the important question I need to ask. Anyway, I'll tell you who really doesn't like days of the week.
Who?
Rude customers.
I know. We actually have a really funny one for you guys. It's insane. It's at Cold Stone. We love
Stone Cold.
We love our
Cold
ice
Stone.
cream. I love
Ice
a lot
cream,
of
you
ice
scream,
cream.
and then the police come. It's awkward.
I know, and everybody screams. Not for ice cream, though.
No.
Not at the end of the night.
You-
But anyways, so this Cold Stone story, it's to give you some context. These people are upset because Cold Stone is closed and they want some ice cream.
So it's that wasn't a good way of putting it. Although it's not very accurate, as you guys are going to see. This is a dispute over time and time itself. Behold the majesty.
These people I can't stand. I really can't
man.
stand. But
You know what's really, really, really horrible about it is no. We'll talk about it in a second. It's all avoidable. This is great. This is unbelievable. Stone Cold. I'd love it if it was Stone Cold's Creamery. He wouldn't put up with this.
what? Why do you keep saying Stone Cold?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold. What?
Yeah, I don't.
The
get it.
professional wrestler. What? Bald head, beady eyes. Drop a 316 on you. What? Chat knows what I'm talking about. One of the most popular wrestlers in the history of wrestling. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, let's watch.
For you to act like a little and do that kind of shit to me,
If we look
and
at the
refuse
cameras,
service
if
to
we
me,
look at the cameras and you come in at 8:30, what's gonna happen?
I came in at 8:29.
Look
You
at the
did not
cameras,
serve
look at
our
the time.
systems
You-
and our phones. I walked out at
Listen,
8:30 because
listen,
I'm making ice cream.
listen.
I came out to finish
You
up the
had us
customers
waiting
and you
for
walked out.
You
We
had us
told you we
waiting
were
in line.
closed.
We told you that
You had us waiting in
Doors
line.
not locked. You can't refuse.
We can't lock customers.
Okay, real quick. So already, this is part 2. We don't know where part 1 went, but already you hear the employees saying, if you look at the cameras, you came in at 8:30. And this man, they're both filming each other.
Filming each other, which is
And
great.
he's like, I came in at 8:29.
8:29.
Now, there's really 2 ways to look at this here. From a rude customers, we're not going to do the rude customer perspective first. From an employee's perspective, because they are being a rude customer, if we close at 8:30 and you walk in at 8:29, are we technically closed? No, but we're closed.
Okay.
I mean, it's rude.
Wait,
It's rude.
it sucks. However, let's look at it from the other perspective. You, my dear, one of my favorite people in the world, can sometimes struggle with getting out of the house, per se. What if this man has a woman in his life or a person in his life that also has such restraints? But they both really wanted ice cream that night, or maybe a kid wanted ice cream that night,
Get this.
or something.
I will never.
They're just trying to get there. He got there on time.
We're going to the 7-Eleven to get ice cream then. We're not going to go to
there
Cold
on
Stone that closes at 8:30 and then walk in at 8:29. You know that's what we're doing. We're not going to go to Cold Stone. We're going to order Uber Eats from the 7-Eleven down the street because we're too lazy to walk there or drive there.
I want to give this man a little bit. Look, obviously this dude is a gym rat. He's probably got a little bit of that testosterone
this
inside
face.
him going.
Look at this face.
He looks like a jacked up Kevin Hart, don't he? He looks like somebody put up muscles on a Kevin Hart. It's amazing. This dude, I just feel like he's probably a family man trying to get his family some ice cream and just wants to get there. And he got there, and now he's not being served. You know why I also like him? Because he used Dickhead doesn't get used nearly enough. Dickhead's good. But it does bring up, and all jokes aside, it does bring up an interesting thing. Because, as a customer, you probably shouldn't walk into a place right as it's closing. It sucks.
Yeah. Look,
But is it worth all the hoopla?
Listen, it's not worth it because all this back and forth that they're doing, they could have just gotten their ice cream
Right.
and left already.
Right.
It's not. However,
Stand on
You
business.
look like an idiot walking in at Cold Stone, and you're like, "No, I came in at 8:29. You guys are still open till 8:30." You sound like a moron.
He's gonna stand on
Basically,
principle there. He doesn't have a lot of principle. That's a man
it's
thing.
by a minute.
Oh, I know. But that minute is still put you in the technical right. And for a man, we're gonna stand on it. If we got nothing else, and maybe we've had a really bad night, and we're looking
close.
bad in front of our girl and stuff, be like, nah. I was here at 8:29. I was
No.
not late. Sorry. Let me
We're
in.
closed. We are closed. Come back tomorrow,
Burn this establishment.
or
to the
don't come back
ground.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow with my 4x4. I'm gonna run through this thing. Bam.
Do not let Dave and Eddie of your have him like a warning. Remember, you know when we go to Seatown
When they
and
drive
there's all these people that's stolen, and then you have like their photos on the front of the door. Put Dave's photo
Yeah.
of like, do not enter if you see this person.
Do not anger this man. Treat this man with respect, or he might go crazy.
We physically
You
tried.
at the door just like you were.
But we were all busy. The line was all the way at the end.
There's a sign on the door that says exactly what time we open.
We
Exactly
came
what
at
time.
8:29
You came at
specifically.
8:30 on the dot
So-
because.
Still, like it's one
It's
one.
one
of the- everybody
Yeah,
else
but we
walked
want to
out.
go home.
That's fine, but this
We
is
can't, because if we let you in, we let everybody in.
We let you in at 8:30 on the dot.
My daughter, who is 4 years old,
And you
here
wanna
from
do this shit in
Michigan,
front of our fucking-
happy
in our-
acting. This
I
is
don't
her
give a fuck
first
about
time.
Okay,
So they're talking about a line.
hold on. It's 8:42. And if he came in at 8, I'm looking at the POS system they got there. It is 8:42.
That's how long they've been arguing
and
about
they've
this.
been arguing about this.
12 fiscal minutes.
Yes, and he could have. Listen, I'm not trying to blame the Cold Stone employees.
Don't blame everybody.
You know, I'm not blaming anybody, but all I'm saying
everybody.
is, if you had to choose, I would have given him the ice cream, and then you guys wouldn't be arguing until and now it's 8:42.
You know what? You know whose fault this is? I know whose fault this is. Who invented the term stand on business? Whoever invented that term, that is their fault. Because
Stand on business?
everybody's standing on business nowadays. I'm going to stand on business. These two are both standing on business, and they don't want to back down. They're both not 100% wrong, and they're both not 100% right. But their attitudes and the way that they're going about it is 100% wrong, and they just don't know how to be right.
This every single time this gets paused, this man's face gets funnier.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He looks like he's about to sing like a seal song.
No, he does not look like he's about to do that.
There. Yeah.
I'm gonna press play.
Now that your rose is in bloom.
Dumb bitch. You wanna do
You
this
were
shit?
recording us
You wanna
first.
do this shit?
Like this is crazy.
You guys can leave because we can call the cops if you want, honestly. All right.
You know how old I am?
You want him? Excuse you. Excuse you. You want him? You're gonna pick on the only guy that we have
You're a
here?
grown-ass man.
You're serious?
You already fuck.
Excuse you. You can leave, sir. We can really call the cops. You're gonna threaten a kid? A
He's a
minor.
child.
A minor.
You're gonna get fired. You're
I'm not going anywhere.
Nobody's gonna get
We
fired.
are not
Give me
going
the number to
anywhere.
corporate. Give me
That's
the number to
fine.
What are your names?
And for you to act like a little dickhead.
Okay.
Man, so I think I was correct, and this is a father who is just trying to get his family some ice cream and decided he's going to stand up and, no, I am not going to tell my kids that they can't have Cold Stone. I was here at 8:29. That's what this is. And he's got maybe got a little bit of that, the juice. He got a little bit of juice in him. He looks like a
I don't know
builder.
if I'm a sucker or not, but I would have just given him the ice cream.
Right.
And at this point, because we shutting down things, I'm just gonna give it to him for free because I'm not about to. We're trying to count the cash that's
Right.
in the register. We're trying to keep it going. We're trying to close and go home, like she stated. So once again, it does sound like I'm coming hard for the Cold Stone employees, and I'm really not. But it's just not worth it. None of this, to me, it doesn't make any sense to continue going on with the man. Now it's gotten to him threatening a minor,
Yeah.
it seems like, or allegedly, but allegedly a minor. I don't know.
Yeah, we
but
don't know. But it's still, the altercation is being threatened.
and it's just, it's getting nasty, and it didn't have to get to this point. And these are why, though. This is why they show you these boring behind videos when you get hired at these chains, because you never really wanted to get to this point. And it just,
Well, here's the reality. They were talking about a line. So I'm going to think that they were pretty busy towards the end of the night.
it sounds like they were in this line, and then she said, but you got out of it. So it sounded like they
But
left.
it still seemed
and
like it was
came-
pretty busy, right?
Yeah,
And we can
yeah.
agree on that. So everything else we don't need to agree on. But it was busy. Now, that being said, to me, if I was managing this place, I'd be like, just clear out everybody who's in line. Like, sometimes you got to work an extra 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, it sucks. I get it. But do you really want to turn away a family who's trying to get ice cream at 8:30 at night? There's that way to look at it too, because it is so avoidable. I mean, shit, you're on the other side of that sometimes. Sometimes you're the family trying to get something late. I'm not saying it's right for them to show up late, but I think we can all agree this is unnecessary. None of it. It's ice cream, folks.
It is unnecessary. Like,
Ice cream.
actually, this is an incident where all things are true here. We have
Yeah.
a rude customer here. We have amazing Cold Stone employees. However, it just felt like it would have been easier for them if they just would have given this family their ice
Just
cream.
serve all the ice cream. Just serve
yeah, it
all the
just would've been
customers that were
easier.
there.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about 8:30. If it's not like 8:33, 8:30, if we're talking 8:29, 8:30, maybe just be understanding. Maybe just be.
And working at Baskin Robbins, because I used to work at a Baskin Robbins, you couldn't close. She's absolutely right. The employee says in that video that you can't lock the doors with people still inside. So that rule applied to me working the night shift. I would go in at, I remember when I worked in California, I would go in at 5 p.m. as my mom was going to bed at 8 p.m. It was funny. And we wouldn't close till late, and we had to wait until the last person walked out of the door. Yes, my shift said it ended at such and such time, but we couldn't lock people in, if people still didn't get their ice cream. So it just, working at an ice cream shop, I understand everyone wants to go home. We get it. It's closing time. You want to play the song.
Closing
But
time.
it comes with the job,
It
unfortunately.
does. Sometimes you just, especially if the other option is altercation. The fact that they're here for 15 minutes longer, because now you're looking at a dangerous situation. Now you're looking at other people possibly coming in. It's stupid, and it doesn't need to happen. Sometimes it sucks. Just work a little bit late. You use that as a way to build yourself up in the corporate world. I don't know.
But let's clarify, there was a rude customer here.
They were inconsiderate. I'll say that. But everything else, I'm going to kind of put on the employees.
Really?
Yeah, they should, like, the family could have had a little bit more, tact and not shown up. But I don't know what their situation was, and I've been on that side. Sometimes you just want to get ice cream, and you don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. You don't expect this. You don't expect the employees to just straight shut you out, and then to bring you back in and have you talk for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and still not get any fucking ice cream. Sorry for the F-bomb. Still not get any ice cream. I just I'm going to put a little bit on them because I think the employees are being a little stubborn, and they're standing on business a little bit too heavy here. They're like, nah, 8:30, not 8:29. Come on. To be yelling at that at a family, I don't like that. I don't like that. It doesn't need to happen. And you know what? I think they're probably going to end up getting in trouble over it, if I had to guess. Because their manager is going to look at this probably from the same perspective I just did. They're customers.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, they weren't 10
I will
minutes
say
late.
that two things are right here. I think and this is a case where you're leaning towards the employees are more wrong than this rude customer.
70-30. And because I think the only thing that they're, up until him getting loud and all that, the only thing they were guilty of was not being there 3, 4, 5 minutes earlier than they were. They were still there technically before. Yeah, it's dickish, but it ain't this worthy. It ain't confrontation worthy. They should still get the ice cream.
And they were and the fact that they had the time to, one of the employees were like, you can look at the cameras.
Right.
It's like you even had the time to know he came in at 8:30. Like, some of this does seem a little bit, and now I feel like I'm bashing the employees. Now I feel like I'm
not trying to hit him
bashing
too
them.
hard.
No,
I'm not trying to hit him too hard.
I'm gonna go on my stance of
you
two
gonna stand on
things.
business?
Two things. I'm gonna stand on business. There's two things. Two things could be wrong here, guys. Okay. I always say we're gonna do poll questions.
Oh,
we
yeah,
never
we should do a poll on this
but
one.
two things can be wrong here. I think there was a rude customer at hand,
Sure.
and I think there were rude employees at hand. I do feel sorry for the employees. However, I do feel like this could have been definitely avoidable. like you said.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah, because we saw some good management the other day. We had the golf clap and everything. There's no golf clap for anyone who was managing the situation. Yeah, the old Chapots, they did a good job. Cold Stone, we need a leader. We need a leader. We need someone to lead. Maybe Stone Cold to lead Cold Stone.
Oh, please don't go down that road again.
What?
No, please don't. I hate wrestling. I hate everything about it. I hate it all.
Yeah, she really does. I mean, if I like it,
What? It's not true. I've never. Listen, my sister literally worked at the
WWE headquarters.
WWE whatever building. I never once asked her a goddamn question
I can't
about
believe that.
anything. You know why? Because I never cared about that whole entire industry. I could care less. She would talk about the guy Vince and
Vincent Kennedy
Or-
McMahon.
getting
What a
meals
scumbag.
or ordering meals for him or something like that. I don't know. She would. I just that world I could never care for. I don't care about wrestling.
It's just
fake,
fascinating.
it's boring.
But so is TV.
So yeah, but it's more interesting. Reality, like Real Housewives of New Jersey, you can't tell me that that's not more interesting than
Oh no, wrestling's
wrestling.
way more interesting.
No,
I like
it's
Real
not.
Housewives. I like Real Housewives, but I like because when these Real Housewives on WWE fight, they beat each other up in the ring. They do splashes, and there's music and costumes and managers and announcers and live crowds and action.
And now we're talking about wrestling.
We are. Look at that.
No.
Yeah. What? All because of a Stone Cold
No.
joke. Thank you, Cold Stone Creamery.
Oh,
And that's the bottom line.
oh gosh.
Yeah, we're full circle now. Yeah, I like that you weren't totally on the that you were trying to stand up for the employees on that one.
Yeah, well, because I understand what it's like to go home. What it feels like to go home after a shift.
This would have delayed him an
And-
extra 2 minutes.
No, I understand. I'm like, it sounds like I'm going back and forth here, but I'm just.
You just don't want to beat them up. You know the reality of this. They should just took care of the customer.
I did say that.
take care of 'em.
I just feel like two things were
it
right
wasn't
here.
worth that 15 minutes. It was not.
it wasn't worth the 15 minutes.
It's
no,
okay.
it
Tell them that
wasn't.
they're wrong.
it
It's
was-
okay.
It wasn't worth it.
It's all right. Dave will let you guys know. Cold Stone.
But
That ain't it.
honestly, Baskin Robbins, I mean, until I got bad working there, I liked working there, until I didn't, but
How long did you work at Baskin Robbins?
like a year, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I never really did any fast food. Never really did any.
I did Jack in the Box. Let me tell you my fast food places. Jack in the Box,
I love Jack in the Box. Miss Jack in the Box.
Baskin Robbins. I worked, well, it's more like restaurants too. Friendlies.
I did a couple restaurants. But
A bunch of Applebee's, like different franchise. I worked for Applebee's for years.
she was an Applebee's
4
journeyman.
years, a bunch of franchise.
4 years at Applebee's?
Not 4 years, more than that.
Wow.
Yeah. But 4 years, like FOR, 4
Oh,
years. Yeah.
4 years.
Where else did I feel like I worked everywhere. I worked in grocery store. I worked at Kroger. I worked at Whole Foods, Starbucks.
Yeah, you worked your way through the corporates.
I know I did. I'm trying to. I know I have like a Walmart's. Okay,
You
well,
worked at Walmart?
so I worked at a Walmart in Kansas City,
And
and then I worked, and then
that's rough.
I was gonna move to Nebraska, and I got a job at Walmart again. And then on orientation day, I was like, do I really want to work at Walmart again? I don't. So then I called him and was like, hey, can you withdraw my application? I'm so sorry. I know orientation's today. I was like, I'm not doing this again.
You quit on orientation day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I did quit on
They
orientation.
had a badge for you.
Because I was like, I quit
I'm not
Walmart the
material.
first time, like by just putting in. I had so many days that when I put in my 2 weeks, I had so many days where I can call out. So I was just calling out my, when I put in my 2 weeks, and then the manager calls me and she's like, I know you put in your 2 weeks. Are you just going to keep calling out? Because can you just let us know? Because I know you have the days to do it. And I thought that would put me on the
Never hire
non-hireable
again.
list.
No.
It didn't, because they still hired me again. But I don't know if me quitting on orientation day
That
puts
probably
me-
did it.
Does that put me on the non-hireable list?
How long ago was it?
Years ago.
No, they forgot now.
Oh.
They'd hire you back.
Yeah, my friend was telling me also Disneyland, or Disney World. One of the which one's in California?
Land.
The Land, Disneyland. I guess they probably work both ways too.
I'd assume.
They could rehire. They have this thing where they can fire an employee, but they could still be rehired again. Yeah. They just have to wait like a certain.
Oh, well,
amount
yeah,
of-
yeah.
Certain. No, but that's you never hear that. You never hear because obviously you have the non-rehireable list, but there's actually
Have you ever been fired?
places.
Like, have you been like proper fired? proper fired.
One time, yeah,
So I've it happened to me twice.
and then I sued.
Oh, so when I when I got proper fired at Vaughn's, I had to listen to the entire thing, and usually there
Weren't
is.
you a child?
I was 18,
You were a child.
whatever, but I listened to the entire thing. This was my first time being fired. I was 17, and he goes, there's a section in that whole thing where they're explaining to you about eligibility of being rehired. Like this termination under the situation of which you've been fired does not prevent you from being rehired in the future. Like you'll hear that in a lot of those speeches.
Yeah, I was improperly fired, and then I sued them. So
How are you fired? From a cannon?
no, she did bring me downstairs, only to hear the person that was trying to get me fired was listening from upstairs.
Eavesdroppers.
Yeah. But it didn't work out for them because when you sue people, there's things that happen that we can't really get into. But yeah.
Discovery.
So that was the only time. The only time I've been fired is when. Oh no, that's not true. When I was 16. But I guess this counts technically as a fire. My sister and I, we applied at this sandwich shop, and then what they gave us was that we were too young because we were on the first day. They were like, "Oh, we didn't realize you guys were still in high school, and we need this place. So it's going to be open late." And I guess they didn't want to have to send my sister. We were twins, and they didn't want to have to send us both. We were relying on one car. It just wasn't a situation they felt. And it was a new restaurant, not restaurant, but a sandwich shop that was opening. So we worked for that one day, and they gave us our check. And then, yeah.
One day they could have just gave you the change. But like, here you go.
So that happened. Yeah, what about you guys? Have you guys been fired?
Yeah, we want to know. Put it in the comment section below. I wasn't like you. I didn't have a lot of I worked seasonal stuff, and then I joined the Army at 18. But I loved haunted houses, Christmas tree lots, pumpkin patches, things like that. I loved working stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mainly
I
'cause
could
make good
see
tips.
you. Yeah, I could see you like working at haunted houses.
Oh, I had so much fun. I did it for 2 years, 2 seasons. I killed. You know what? Very, very strange. This is a true story. I can't tell the entire story because it's actually quite graphic. I worked for a guy who was really weird, and he'd say a lot of really messed up stuff, and we were all kids who worked there. It was messed up, but that's another story for another day. But I had to go out of town on the last day on Halloween, so I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't get to get paid. So I got told where to go to get paid. This was my first year. I was 16, and I had to go to the sketched out parking lot where the last haunted house that was being taken down was at, and this big friggin' Italian dude was sitting out on a lawn chair with his shirt unbuttoned in the sun in October. This is Vegas, keep in mind, so it was
Okay.
still warm. And he was like, "You the kid who needs the money?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Come here, kid. Got something for you." And he reaches into his pants, like digging deep, right? And he pulls out a freaking thing like this. It's like a wad. It's like an envelope, wrapped in an envelope. It's like, "Here, kid." He tosses it to me right in my chest. He goes, "Good job. Heard you were a great Freddy Krueger. Now get the fuck out of here." I swear to God, that's exactly what happened. I look in my hand. It's all singles. $632 in singles.
Why did he give you $632 in singles?
That was my paycheck for working at the haunted house.
What?
Yeah, that was my pay. Because I went out of town on the last night, so they couldn't pay me. So when I came back in
and he
town,
grabbed it out of his where?
out of his pants, he like dug deep in that thing. It was messed up. I have no sense of smell, but that envelope was moist.
That's so gross.
It was messed up. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I had to give my parents $400 because the car broke down. I gave them $400 of that $600.
See, that's your problem. You tell people things way too much.
Yeah.
I just
Well, my
say-
mom's dead. It's okay. It's okay. It's been 5 years. I joke about those things. It's okay. It's how I grieve. Trust me. She's appreciating it.
Okay, well, I mean,
I have to joke about her, man.
I'm
I'm
not.
sorry.
Anyways, going back to the story, because I'm not gonna comment. I'm not commenting. I'm not doing it. But what is so funny?
Nothing.
But is that how you got paid like the whole summer? Or
That was how I got paid for the 3 weeks that I worked at the haunted house. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. And I worked a lot of hours.
I know. And when we went to the haunted house, like I haven't gone to a haunted house ever.
Since last year.
Well, last year would have been the but that's what I'm trying to say. I was going to say, if you let me finish, is that I haven't gone to a haunted house ever until we went last year. Like, I haven't gone ever. And so that was the most scariest thing ever.
That was fun.
It was a trail, actually.
We did
trails
both,
are
yeah.
worse. I feel like trails are so much worse because not only are you scared, like,
You gotta walk.
you gotta walk and be scared. And then I even fell. I injured myself and fell.
So when we were deciding what haunted houses to go to, we were looking at a couple different ones. And ultimately, we chose this one. And it was a good one. But it was a haunted hayride and a haunted trail. Now, when I saw haunted trail, I didn't think it was like haunted triathlon length trail. It was like 7 haunted houses after 6.4 miles.
No, it was
It
a lot.
was a lot. And it was not flat. It was a lot of fun,
And
though.
apparently, like one of my family friends, she was like, "That's not even the scariest one. That's not even the one that she was talking about."
know.
Her and my sister went to. I was like, "What?"
That's what we got to do. I want to go to more this year, and I want to go to some of the scary
I
ones.
can only do one a year. I can't do any more than that a year.
One a year.
I can't. I cannot do more than one haunted house
One
a
a
year.
year?
No, I can't do
You
it.
did 6
My
on one night.
voice, huh?
Yeah, that was 6 haunted houses we went through.
Yeah, well, that was enough for one night because my voice the next day, it was hurting me.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we went to Wendy's that night. Remember when the lady that night, how do I remember this? The lady that night, I was just so,
What lady?
the lady at Wendy's, so after the haunted house,
Because everything was closed by the time we got done. We were the last
Yeah,
ones off the
everything-
trail.
everything was pretty much closed, but we were still hungry. So I was like, oh, we should go to Wendy's. And this was on our way back here. And the lady got mad because she was like, oh, I was talking to you, but the whole time she had an attitude with us. And then she realized that she didn't have her headset. You know, when you're working in the drive-thru and they talk to you on that headset, but her headset was up near her ears. It wasn't to her mouth.
yeah.
And so the whole time she was talking to me and I couldn't really hear her at all. I'm like, why can I hear her?
It's like, how you doing? Welcome to Wendy's. Take your order, please. No, we couldn't hear nothing.
No, I couldn't hear anything. So I just remember the attitude she had given me that night. And then she apologized when she realized she had her earpiece up. But yeah, at the haunted, I don't know. I just
Remember when
thought,
I got racially profiled at the haunted house? That was great.
Huh?
Remember when I got racially
What?
profiled at the haunted house?
no, when did you get racially profiled? at
Was
the
that the
haunted-
first one? So we got on a trail, right? Yeah. We were going through the first haunted house, and there's lines. They stop you, and then they let you go through. And as we were going through it, they let Blossom and her family, who are all black, go through, and they stopped my white ass. And I was like, I'm with them. And they go, really? I'm like,
Oh yeah.
and I had to
oh,
run up and
yeah.
catch up to you. And I told you right
Now
on the
that-
spot. You were like, really? I go, yeah, that's why I had to just catch up to you. They wouldn't let me go. I was like, I was doing the polite thing and letting all the ladies and the children go first because, you know, that's what you do. And then they're like, they stopped me. And I'm like,
Ew, but I hate how
2023.
my mom, she
Oh,
was
man,
like,
your mom. She was chirping the people on the ride.
but I hated that. She was, so, you know when you try to tell off the people that are trying to scare you? Oh, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, they would stop the whole thing.
They stopped the ride.
They stopped the ride so they would get on and try to scare her. And she was like,
They're like wielding around axes and stuff. It's great.
real chainsaws.
It was funny.
Sheesh.
That was a good time.
I
That was a
know.
lot of fun. And then that whole situation, the bonfire, and then that was the same place that they turned it into the tree lot, which we didn't go to. They turned it into a Christmas lot.
Oh, we didn't. You're right. We should have gone there for Christmas, and we
should've.
didn't. No, we have a really great Christmas tree though.
We did have a great Christmas tree. That was a cool one. It was a lot of
Wasn't
fun.
real, but
Nope, but it was beautiful.
I know we're gonna use it again. It was expensive. It was like what?
It was like a couple hundo, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
But
not cheap.
it's beautiful tree.
Yeah, it is. It is. Oh my God! Can you believe we're getting closer to the middle of the year, which is closer to Christmas?
I can't wait until we are in July
August is where it gets exciting.
because then, well, it starts to get exciting in July because then I can say next month is pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice. As
Oh
soon
my
as it hits
God.
August,
we're within 60
it
days.
is Halloween, basically. Pretty much.
Pretty
Halloween.
much.
I know we're in June now, so it's kind of disappointing talking about it now, but I'm just ready. I've always been ready for Halloween, been ready for, I don't know, just,
Well, the holiday season,
Mm-hmm.
it's fun. And the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's just fun to gear up for.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a really good holiday season. Maybe not Thanksgiving, but the rest of them were pretty great.
like, it was amazing. So I'm so excited for this year. But anyways, oh my God, we're boring you guys. We're talking about Halloween and
But that's okay because you know what? Sometimes, even in those moments, you can find some rude customers out there. And I'm glad we were able to cover a couple on this episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we appreciate you being here.
I
on
know.
another
Thank you so
episode.
much for watching us, or for those who are listening. We appreciate you.
Letting us yammer for a few minutes. Oh, and thank you guys for all the support on the shorts and the clips and things. You guys have been really rocking it on the Instagram and the YouTube. Really appreciate you as of late. The demon ladies, the demon tattoo lady
I
stuff
know,
is doing fantastic.
15,000 views.
Thank
you. Thank you. So anyways, we will see you back here tomorrow, and yeah.
Watch Rude Customer Podcast everywhere you can find it. YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere else. I'm Dave.
And I'm Blossom.
We'll see you next time.